Hey guys, I'm back from my slumber, here to bring you a new straight off the press Genesis Testament scaling. Today I'll be covering Alice Anotherbible. To start off with, I was wrong. In my last video I got a lot of facts wrong about the scaling of JVA and how that scales King Toma. I rushed the script and didn't double check my scaling. The major mistake I made was that JVA's carbon ball attack is not inaccessible speed. Its day-by narration just be a high-speed projectile, and it's more of a simple trick. It only appeared like it ignored distance because the characters around them couldn't perceive it. With JVA being revealed to be a phenomenon explained through Saint Germain at the end of the volume. Yep, that's right, everything about him. In the exact words it stated, there was nothing unknown about CRC. It could all be explained by the Rosicrucian Saint Germain. And as seen in New Testament 12, characters like Kinyahata and Maguna are able to react to these attacks. So it's highly unlikely that these same attacks using Saint Germain are inaccessible speed. Genesis Testament has a lot of misconceptions and misinformation on a lot of the scaling, but I'll be covering that as I go forward. Starting off with Alice's ability. Wonderland? Bridge building? Doesn't really have an official name. But essentially, Alice has the ability to take two concepts, these could be anything from scientific theories to even something as trivial as the colour purple, and build a bridge between them. What this means is she can connect the concepts together, combine them into something convenient for her. Her ability is stated to work beyond the framework of magic, essentially means that her magic goes beyond deriving meaning from legends and myths that common magicians use, and is outside that limitation entirely. Alice can summon creatures similar to the things that appear in the original story she was based on. These creatures include flamingos, a cricket bat, hedgehogs, an executioner, griffin, and the strongest of them all, Dinah the cat. The creatures act as an auto-defense system, reacting to any attacks that can potentially hit Alice to make her mentally unstable. In Genesis Testament 10, these creatures get into a fight when Alice becomes conflicted, and we are shown the gaps between them, with Griffin being stated to be more dangerous than Academy City's dark side, and then be an embodiment of destruction, only for it to be one tap by the cricket bat, with the bat being able to react and block the carbon ball attacks from CVA, who was blitzing and one-shotting everyone, with creatures like the Executioner being able to even hit intangible ghosts like Phil Sanji. These creatures were even causing issues with other transcendents, delaying them from getting to the main fight, with the strongest one, the cat Dinah, being such an op that required Mutt Thebes, who has been known as the strongest regular transcendent, to power up for 10 minutes straight to match this cat, with Dinah having one shot at the cricket bat and given Anna Kingsford some trouble. Alice can do anything the Transcendents can do, as she has a more powerful iteration that Transcendents just copied. Alice also has the ability to make miracles with movements, with her in Genesis Testament 10 taking a step to instantly close distance, or make a dodging action to become intangible. Should be noted that none of her abilities are thought-based, and are explicitly mentioned to be activated by actions, with H.G. Trismegistus even commenting she can't kill them with a thought. One of her most useful powers is her regeneration. In Genesis Testament 9, Alice gets her head blown off and is able to come back to life towards the end of the volume. This is due to how Alice's works, as she is essentially two beings split into one, the inner Alice and the outer Alice. The inner Alice being the one in bondage, and the outer Alice being the young girl. So, pretty much, if the outer Alice is harmed in any way, Alice can bring herself back to life using the power of ley lines. However, this does have a limit, as with complete eradication, she pretty much dies, as confirmed in New Testament 9, where she's confirmed to have been caught up in the world destruction. So as long as there's nothing left, Alice cannot be resurrected. The crystallization of Alice's bridge building is something she made in Genesis Testament 5, the Wonderland. She shared an alternate reality to create a perfect scenario for Kamajo Toma, where he would succeed and overcome his fate, even going as far as to make him lucky in this reality. In this Wonderland, everyone's mindset was changed to benefit Toma's journey, and events were organised in a beneficial way for Toma. For example, restricting Phil Sanji's ability to only being lightning to make her easier to deal with, as well as making people more agreeable and willing to work with each other. With Alice's final and in my opinion most broken ability, her tailwind effect. Alice's tailwind is a passive ability that extends to her and those that align themselves with Alice. This effect makes it so any attack thrown by those under the positive effect of the tailwind has a 100% hit rate, and those who throw attacks on the negative side have a 100% miss rate. This created the aura of invincibility that Alice had in the volumes like Genesis Testament 7, where she threw out an attack and instantly took out H. Trismegistus and good old Mary. However, Alice has an over-reliance on this ability, as shown when Anna Sprengel presents a power that rivals Alice to oppose her, and Alice misses and gets hit quite more frequently, with even a radio being surprised that she could hit Alice at all. I know I've yapped on about her abilities for quite a bit, but this is a large component of what makes her dangerous in the first place. But now moving on to Alice's attack potency. She's frequently stated many times to be able to destroy the world and the universe without issue, with Bologna's succubus stating she is a child with the destroy universe button in her hands, and the narration confirming this. With the author afterwards in Genesis Testament 6, Alice was the one and only card the Transcendents could play to help them survive the universe's destruction. Some people believe Komachi was talking about Risk 4, allowing Transcendents to survive, but this doesn't make sense, as you'd have to question why they would be hesitant to go into Risk 4 in the first place. Transcendents at this point would use Risk 4 to fight a baby, with how frequently used it to fight each other and even Toma. It's more believable for them to be hesitant to bring Alice into the situation, as they would have no clue how she would react with her unpredictability, with this hesitance leading them to be caught up in the world's destruction. With narration supporting this interpretation, by stating Alice's level of distortion was the same extent as the Athena's infinite worlds, placing Alice and Athena's at equal in raw power. However, it should be noted that although Alice is capable of this level of power, she has never used it before, with the statement telling us that up until Genesis Testament 10, Alice had not used a level of power equivalent to Athena's, and it's highly unlikely that she did use it in a fight towards the end of the volume, as no character remarked about her seeming any stronger. It's even more unlikely if you hold the interpretation that Alice was holding back during the altercation, which becomes more and more likely when you realise that despite how violent she was, no one had died during the conflict, despite Alice being massively above Transcendents in terms of power. In terms of speed, this is also a hard one to quantify, as Alice relied mostly on her creatures and tailwind passively, with her only getting her hands dirty in the final fight in Genesis Testament 10. She's able to react to and fight with Transcendents, who all scale to each other, with Bologna being able to move at bullet timing speeds. However, in the terms of speed, Alice did get hit quite a bit and showed relativity with them. There's nothing from Alice that indicates a level even close to the likes of Saints in speed, even worse their only showings being fairly subpar. This makes her speed end out not being so great. With the sheer level of potency and variety of her abilities, she wouldn't really need to be fast in the first place. With her durability also being quite vague, the other Transcendents not wanting to kill her during the fight and mostly wanting to restrain her and knock her out. Though, she is immune to things like bacteria, bugs, curses, and all other forms of internal damage from both magic and science alike. In conclusion, Alice has a very broken set of abilities, very high attack potency from her bridge building power, and is one of the most powerful characters of the series as of current. Her physical stats are quite lacking though, with her battle IQ not being that great, with a lot of fights depicting her akin to a wild animal. If Alice fought someone on her level like Athena's, she would most likely lose due to the gap in physical prowess and experience. Even though Komachi did state that potentially Alice and her descendants stood a chance of killing Athena's, it's highly unlikely and was more used as a hypothetical, as punctuated by the statement being brackets, and was used more of a way to highlight her inability to create a new world, and how they were specialised in destruction than it was a power scaling comment. Unlike typical magicians, Alice didn't pursue her power, she was cursed with it, just an emotionally damaged individual in a messed up situation. Well guys, thanks for watching, please don't forget to like and subscribe, I need clout, and maybe you'll get another video within the next year. Bye.